Hi, Robin with Oxy-Dry. And before I get to the carpet, I've got to show you something interesting. This is an elderly couple that got to be in their 80s. That's the R-Spec Genesis 428 horse, 5-liter V8. Oh, that's a rocket. Interesting. You wouldn't expect that. The lady has significant mobility issues. She uses a walker. Yeah, they're easily in their 80s. Yeah, interesting. Well, why not, eh? I just find that rather funny. Anyway, carpet. I don't know how old the carpet is, but it's got these significant wear paths from the walker that she uses, and it has the feet that are sliding along, which would have rubber on them, and then, of course, over time that is transferring onto the carpet as well, of course. And the carpet is pretty worn. It's all mushed together right along there. So yeah, it's going to be a bit of a challenge, I think. It's not actually looking that soiled other than that and the wear. But let's we'll grab one of those. Anyway, let's see what we can do with it. And as you can see, I'm again using the Astro turf pad. I just did another job, not very big job, and I used the Astro turf pad, and it cleaned really well. And the pad was black again. Yeah, they seem to be working really well. I'm actually surprised. But anyway, let's see what we can do. Immediately, look at that. Wow. I am constantly amazed at how well these things are working. It's just taking that black right off the carpet. That's crazy. I did spray a little bit Suspend onto these traffic areas, not very much. It's neat enough to get on there to cut through the lower the surface tension, but that's what it does. It's a surfactant. My goodness, it's coming right off. This is like effortless. Yeah, the previous job that I just came from, again, it actually didn't look that soiled, but it definitely cleaned up really nicely, and the stains all came out using the Astro turf pad, and the pad was black. I see a color stain over there. Didn't see that till the light hit it. That's an odd place for a stain. But maybe they had... or maybe there was a pet in here. That could be. There's no pet now, but there might have been like a little dog, or maybe a cat was here and did something over here. Oh, you can't see that, right? Yeah, see, there was another yellow stain over here. which I had seen. That's a big one. Although that kind of looks like something was sitting there and maybe it was wet and it transferred onto the carpet. That doesn't quite look like a urine stain. I could be wrong, but I'm not smelling anything. Anyway, we'll see what happens. If there is urine, the stabilized ClO2 in the Suspend should deal with that and remove that stain. It's usually successful. Oh, I see another little bit of yellowing over here. Now, I do have a handful of these Astro turf pads that are 17-inch, which this one is, and then a bunch of other 19 inches. But I'm finding I'm using the 17s more for the residential jobs because they just they give me a little bit more nimbleness when I'm in crampy quarters. Hard to say what those yellowish stains are. But that one, yeah, that looks like something transferred onto the carpet there, so it's probably a permanent stain. Some things are permanent. And a color stain, particularly one that's a transfer stain, you know, maybe it's some kind of ink or something. If, you know, somebody puts a stack of magazines on the carpet and for some reason it gets damp enough, or even it can do it even spontaneously where the ink can break down and start to transfer onto the carpet. Those sort of things will be permanent. But fortunately it's out of sight in the closet there, so. Just take my time and let the machine do its job. The scrub strips on the pad, we're going to really work at lifting the yarn and giving it a good agitation. Now, one thing I was thinking about, I've been meaning to bring in some microfiber scrub strips and try them, and I was thinking about that the other day, and I remembered, well, one of the reasons I don't like them is because I can't see the soiling on them as much as on these, you know, pads like this, where you actually see the, you know, how dark it gets. Whereas with the microfiber with scrub strips, one of the issues I have, or concerns I have, is the fact that you can't really see the soil on the pad so much. It's not as obvious anyway. But anyway, one of these days I'll try to remember. I do have a couple in the van now, but I guess I could have brought them in for this job, but I forgot. So we're just going to go over this, over here a little bit more. The entrance to the bathroom here. It doesn't look like it needs it, but I'm going to do it anyway. It'll take a few more seconds. But it looks like the traffic lanes from the walker are coming out completely. I'm actually a little surprised. Pleasantly surprised. So that's fairly soiled for, what, 100 square feet or so. And we're just doing on the side and that bottom, the foot of the bed there. Oh, I just saw something over here. A screw. I suppose it's possible that that car doesn't actually belong to them. Maybe it's, you know, maybe their son or, you know, family member just parks it there. I'm going to ask him, but I'm really curious. Sometimes you find some really amazing vehicles that some of these older people drive. Just, you wouldn't expect it. You know, you open up the garage and there's a beautiful 66 Chevelle SS or something like that sitting there. And then they say, yeah, we don't want to keep it anymore. Give us a few $100 and take it off our hands. Like, ooh. Yeah, it probably won't happen. But it could. Okay, so we'll move this out of the way. over and under. I learned to do that when I was playing in a couple of different bands many years ago. You get the sound man really mad if you don't do it the right way. When you're wrapping up the cables for the sound system and microphones and everything. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty dirty for just a couple of small areas there. Look up the specs on this car. It's really quite impressive. I'm not really a Hyundai fan, but if I was going to buy a Hyundai, it might be one of those. I know they have some pretty serious issues with some of their motors. Like, really bad issues. Nice looking car, though. Okay, so we're going to do the post vacuum. This is a bit sooner than I would ideally like to do it, obviously, but there's just 2 rooms, so it's okay. It's just slightly damp. And no, I won't be sucking water into the vacuum. There's just simply not enough moisture there, present there. When I learned to do it this way, by the way, years ago, when I was started 30 years ago, it did take me a little bit to get the hang of it, to make sure I applied the right amount of moisture as I cleaned from the tank of the machine. And I remember a few times there where I definitely got it too wet. And I've had the vacuum bag wet, but now that's just never happens. I mean, I've had the water dripping out of the head even. That's obviously too wet. So, yeah, you once you get the hang of it, you learn that all you need to do is just get it wet enough to clean the carpet. Extra water doesn't help you clean. This isn't steam cleaning. The key is the agitation, and you just need it damp enough to emulsify, dissolve the soil, and have it transfer onto the pad. And that doesn't require gallons of water. You got to get that way of thinking out of your head. You're not flushing the carpet like a steam cleaner. I've seen videos of guys using pad system, and they talk about, basically soaking the carpet, and even taking the pads and soaking them in water, having them soaking wet, and then thinning like that. No. You don't need to do that. It doesn't help. It just gets it wet and wetter, and you can even end up with a carpet that will wick, even though you're using a low moisture process. I mean, if it takes a few hours to dry, you can't really legitimately say that you're using a low moisture process, because you can have a carpet, you can steam clean a carpet and have it dry in a few hours if you have a good machine and proper technique and everything. So I'll be spraying some proxy on there. I got a feeling that's permanent. Looks to me like somebody worked on it though. It has a real distorted look to it, like somebody really scrubbed and rubbed at it. So maybe they tried to get whatever it is out of there. This is looking just wonderful. There's a little bit of wear showing on the traffic areas, all right, but no, it's done really well. Okay. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you something. Because you saw me clean, and then you saw me immediately use the vacuum on here, so let's see. Did I pick up water? Oop, no, not even in the bag. See, no moisture. How about the brush roll? Let's have a look. No, very slight amount of moisture in here, very slight. Wonderful. You see, that's how you do it. You don't overwet it, and you can use the vacuum to groom afterwards without a problem. So there you go. I'll let you go. Thanks for watching, and have a good day.